say about that match. Dash is joined at the analyst desk with those two guys from C9.
Those two guys indeed, Freak. Hi and Meteos. One of the fastest wins we've seen in this current iteration of Summoner's Rift. And Meteos, I want to touch on that, the confidence clip that we saw during the game, where you were talking about how it can be dangerous for a team to have a boost in momentum and confidence. Games like this, though, have to give you guys an extraordinary amount of confidence. So where do you draw the line between coming out of this game with, like, yes, this is the kind of, the form that we want to be in and we can roll with this, and hey, let's not get ahead of ourselves?
I think it just comes down to not getting complacent, because when you win games, obviously it feels good. You can look at what you did right, but it's pretty easy to just go over a replay where you win and just like look at all the good things you do. Like, I could go back, watch me kill Jarvan and be like, oh yeah, I'm so good at the game. But in reality, we should be looking at the things we need to improve on, because no matter how well you play, there's always stuff you can be doing better. Maybe we could have worded better. There were some plays we missed out on, just stuff like that. So I think it's just about always looking to improve instead of just trying to think you're good.
Hi, you've always been very outspoken and critical of your own play, about how, even when we spoke to you last week, you were talking about how one of your biggest points of failure right now for the team is the amount of deaths that you were racking up. Well, last week and in this game, you're doing phenomenally in that area of growth. What else are you looking to individually to improve upon, as Meteos said, out of these victories?
Well, even though we win, there's still things we could have done. As an example, when they did the 3-man gank on me top, and we had balls teleport in, I could have told them to cancel the TP so we would still have it on a shorter cooldown. Even though it's like a minor thing, that's something that we could have done better. And as Meteos said, there are always things that you can always work on to improve on. And I had 100% of our team's deaths that game, so maybe if I did that'd be cool too. But
well,
yeah.
I mean, the deaths is, as long as the deaths are coming with a purpose, right? That was something that Jad actually spoke about earlier in the show today, was that, deaths are okay if they're the catalyst for something, or if they're in, the grander scheme of things, achieving something. But when we look at games like this where you guys had such an early lead, and you do this consistently, right? At 20 minutes in, you had 1 kill to 0, you had 3-1 turrets, you had 5K gold lead, and you were 1-1 in dragons. That's a gold disparity, kill disparity, and a dragon differential that, like, we very rarely see. What do you attribute that to on your team? Because you guys do it day after day.
I think we as a team just played very well that game for the most part. We played very safe. We had a lot of vision up, so we could always see what they're doing. And when you can see what the enemy team is doing, it's very obvious what they're going to do next. So as long as we don't let them do what they're trying to do, they have no options of any plays they can make. We did our lane phase as well, and then we did a good rotation between our lane swaps, and they got punished for that. We didn't give them a chance to get anything, and when they couldn't get anything, they would start falling behind. You just have to be patient, and you'll win the game as long as you keep up what you're doing.
I want to kind of roll that into the jungle, because you picked up Nidalee this game, and we know Nidalee as a pretty oppressive jungler, and she seems to fit very well into your play style, Meteos. What is it about that champion that you feel puts her at the top tier right now?
Well, I think she's top tier mostly just because her jungle clear is actually insane. She resets all of her Cougar form cooldowns when she hunts something, so you can just kill the camps way faster than every other jungler, and then you have so much mobility with your W. I didn't even buy level 1 boots until like after my second item that game, just because they aren't really needed. On top of that, she has a ton of damage, and she just really does everything a jungler needs to do. If she had CC, she would just be too good, but aside from that, she's really solid. She's kind of like a carry champion, which I enjoy playing. It's fun to be strong and get gold and items, so I enjoy playing her.
So we've been struggling as a caster group to kind of break through the moment in the game where teams start to struggle with having taken the 3 outer turrets and can't seem to break the second tier turrets because they're significantly harder to dive and things like that. And with Dragon not giving gold, you can't necessarily build the item advantage that you would need to dive immediately when you're ahead. And a lot of times we find a lull in a game. So, Hi, where do you guys look as a team to press advantages when you kind of do fall into that mid game?
Well, we've actually had discussions about this before where we take all 3 outer turrets and we don't know what to do after, just because those second tier turrets are insanely ridiculous. You can't really take those turrets even if you're like a little bit ahead unless they like die out of there. So you're given a few options left. You either have to do Dragon. If it's dead, you can't do that. Baron doesn't spawn until 20 minutes, so you can't do that either. So your only option is basically to ward up and see what they do. If they try to get a fight and you get a good fight, then great. If not, you're basically left to just farm or try to get a pick. But there really aren't that many options to do after those first 3 outer tiers are gone.
Do you feel like there might be kind of a resurgence of siege comps, like with the ability to disengage, in order to maybe make an effort at pushing those second tier turrets before that 20-minute mark?
I don't even think a Siege comp could take that second tier turret, honestly. Like, if they're there defending it, it's much easier to defend the turret than it is to take the turret. So at the moment, you're really not given many options to do pre-20 minutes.
And so Nidalee, again, is another one of those junglers then, if you're looking to capitalize on the vision control that you guys play, do you think that that is one of the stronger, or what, I should rephrase the question as, what other junglers would you look towards Meteos, aside from Nidalee, to capitalize on kind of mid-game vision control and pick potential?
Well, pretty much all the junglers that have been meta for a while are probably still always going to be good. You know, you have Jarvan, Lee Sin. Elise got nerfed a little too hard to do it anymore. And then there's Vi. So all these kinds of mobility, CC, damage champions who don't really need too many items, so you can buy Sightstone, those are always going to be, you know, the popular junglers for a while, just because you can ward up, you can get picks on them when they try to clear your wards, and they sort of just accomplish what a jungler needs to do.
Hi, there's been some question raised about your health as that photo was put out on the web of the wrist guards or braces that you were wearing. I just want to give you a moment to touch on that. How are you feeling? What's going on there?
Oh, I don't really know, but since I've moved up to NorthCal, I think my desk height or something is really weird. So when I'm playing at home, my wrists have been hurting a lot. And I think I either heard it from my posture or I heard it from working out. So I've been trying to do things to help alleviate that pain, which is one of those things is the brace guards or wrist braces or whatever. And apparently there are like exercises that you can do to help that. I haven't done that yet, but I'm looking it up.
Well, we should get on those.
Yeah, and I'm going to a physician next week, Tuesday, to check it out.
Okay, but on the road to recovery and nothing to be too concerned about at the moment.
I hope so, yeah.
All right, I'm glad to hear that. Now, one final thought, just on tomorrow, I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on this kind of marquee matchup that there's been a lot of hype around going into tomorrow between CLG and TSM. Do you guys have a prediction you want to throw out?
I'll go CLG.
CLG?
I like them a lot right now.
All right, CLG looking strong.
That's a really hard one. We practice versus both of them a lot, and they're both so good right now. I think CLG might be a little stronger, just because, I don't know, they seem really unstoppable, especially when you play against them. They're just like, they do really weird things, but they're always on the same page about it. So they just have extremely good teamwork. They're all strong mechanically, and they get along super well. So I probably have to give it to CLG.
High praise for both teams, but tipping the scale in CLG's favor. Well, again, gentlemen, congratulations on this win. Looks like you guys are on the road back to some dominance, which I'm sure lots of people at home are happy to see. We do have to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere because up next it's Team 8 versus Team Liquid. We'll be right back.
The flash engaged by Balls, so the fight starts. Kiwi Kid goes down. And the flash engage lands onto everybody. Is the fight going to be enough, though? High comes into the back line, looks for Core JJ. He just might pop. C9 looking back onto form.